Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com, and I thought I'd do a video focused on direct sowing. A lot of people ask me, say they don't have a lot of luck doing it, and it's one of those things. It's not too hard to do once you get the hang of it. A lot of it's just patience. I'm planting some beets here. It's a little bit early for beets where I live. But you can see off to the left there, I've got a plastic dome I'm going to put over this to create a little microclimate, and this technique has worked for me before, so I'm confident it'll work. So I got a tight camera angle here, and a lot of people ask me questions about direct sowing, and they say they don't have success with it, and they got insecure consternations about giving it a shot. So I'm going to show it up close here with a relatively tight angle. The lighting's a bit off. I apologize for that. The great thing about this brand of seed, anyway, is you can reseal the packages. A weird kind of adhesive here, which holds it tight together, but is resealable. Anyway, so this is a variety called, I think, Early Start, and they grow very fast. Vessey's Seeds has a lot of varieties like that. All I'm doing here is pushing the seeds into the soil just so that they're in. Like you see, I'm not pushing them deep. They're pretty much just barely below the surface, really. Almost like they're just pushed in, but not beneath the surface, just into the surface. Like if you pushed a chocolate chip into cookie dough, but not beneath the level of the dough. Right, so you just push it in like that, push it in tight. You want good contact. Good contact is very important. So here I'm sprinkling a little bit of just some nice dark rich earth on here, and then what I'll do is I'll press this earth down to get everything nice and snug and tight, and this ensures that the seeds will stay nice and moist, and they're not going to dry out, and you've just got really good contact with the soil. And a little bit of water, not too much. But when you pack it down like that, what that does is it keeps everything from moving around. Those seeds are going to stay exactly where I put them. I put them exactly down there, or pretty much exactly down the middle of that little channel there. So they should just stay where I put them, which is the plan anyway. So from this point onward, it's just a question of rinse, wash, and repeat. For those that haven't watched my videos before, I like to put cardboard and paper. I don't always do this. It depends on what I'm doing exactly, but certainly really early in the season like this, especially where I've got soil here that's got no mulch. Almost all my gardens have a mulch on them. And here I'm just using cardboard as a mulch. It's biodegradable, and soil organisms will eat it, but I always have something covering my soil. I like using paper or cardboard and things like that between the rows when I plant, because it just does my weeding for me. And you might ask, well, what's going to keep that from blowing away? Well, temporarily right now I just have a stick across it to hold it down, but it's very windy where I live, so that would definitely not do the job. I'm going to put a plastic dome over this to sort of seal it all in. It's a bit early to be planting beets where I live right now. I was planting this the last week of March, which is very early for beets. They really wouldn't germinate without a sort of microclimate erected over them, because we have nights this time of year, early April, late March. We still have nights that are below freezing. But with a plastic dome over that, you can get things going a bit early. They might take a bit longer to germinate than they would at prime growing season, but they'll still, my experience is they usually come along. So I'll leave that plastic dome on until they're growing well, and all risk of frost has come to an end. I'll take the dome off, and at that point beets will have some height. Maybe they'll be 4 or 5 inches high, maybe a little higher. And at that point I'll put some sort of mulch over this cardboard to hold it down. I really like using seaweed. I live close to the ocean, so seaweed's free and I can get it. Just the dead stuff that washes up on shore. And for those that don't ask, I've got videos on it. Just search my channel and videos answering all questions about seaweed. I don't worry about salt for a number of reasons that I cover in those videos. This isn't a video about seaweed. But I also use grass clippings, hay, leaves, just anything that will hold it down. And some things are really light, like leaves really won't hold the paper down. So you just put a couple rocks on it, or sticks or whatever. But over time with the rain, and it gets waterlogged, and it sort of just glues itself into the soil. It starts to break down. It sort of almost becomes part of the soil. It just finds its way into the soil, and that's how you incorporate that into your garden. But I'm going to fast forward this, and I'll come back towards the end and just wrap it up. So have a watch as I put this whole thing together. Alright, so just putting on the last finishing touches here with the water, and people are going to ask me how often I need to water it. At this time of year where it's still very cold at night, even though the bed can get fairly warm during the day if it's a nice sunny day. Not every day is sunny, and I've given it a really good soaking here. I really might water it once a week, maybe even less. It really depends. And you got to recall that below the surface of the soil, if you go down about 3 or 4 inches in this bed, it's ice. So there's still a lot of moisture in the soil here, and as the plastic dome heats the soil, it'll cause evaporation from the moisture that's in the soil, but that evaporation will be captured in the dome and just sort of rain back down. It's not a perfectly closed system. People are always asking me about venting. I find you solve your venting problem by just designing things poorly and having lots of spaces and gaps. This dome doesn't properly cover this bed, so it's not a tight seal. There's probably, lengthwise it's the right length, but widthwise it's about an inch too narrow on either side. So there's a path of escape for any air, any sort of hot air that's building up in here. It can bend its way out on the sides, and that wasn't by the design. That's more by lack of design. But let's say you're really good and you make it tight anyway. Just jam a stick under it, or poke a hole in your plastic, or put a little. There's lots of different ways to allow it to vent. Rather than have everything tight and having to manually vent things on particular days, I just rather have it be imperfect. It just seems a lot easier. And there's other ways you can get around that as well. But anyway, that's the idea. I tie it down so it won't blow away, and we're done. We'll check on this in a couple of weeks and see what happens. I hope you found it interesting and gave you a few good tips on direct sowing. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.